has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stopped the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scrape their knees. Now just imagine how they must feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calmed. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look? Abolish CPS.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPS.com is leading the way. Join us.
All right. Good evening, everybody. It is Saturday, and we are CPS Victims Hunting for Justice, Vinny edition, CPS Talk with Vinny. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Let me make sure the chat is up there. Yes, it is. I did. I watched it, and I have no way of getting it up on the show. I'm not Darren, so I don't know how to do all that stuff. Only Darren does. I'm still learning some of the stuff that Darren does, so you guys have to bear with me. However, I did find some information that I wanted to share with you guys. Let me pull it up real quick because I find this to be highly interesting. And I feel that it is a major concern to share with everyone that is dealing with CPS. So I'm going to do a little bit of reading on what I've been digging up and what I've been finding. And it's wow. It blows my mind for the state of Maine to disregard we the people and the parents that are fighting CPS and seeing what is going on, and they're just blatantly ignoring it. Right from our governor to these judges to these attorneys to the guardian ad litems who are lying under oath. This is a really big thing, right down to DAs, ADAs, and they're all guilty of it. And this needs to stop. We need to stand up for our children's rights, our rights, and fight these corrupt people. They are very corrupt, and I'm about to point out some other things that I've seen. This was posted by the Penobscot Bay Pilot. Maine has lost sight of parent and children's rights to be together. The case of Barney A. A recent court ruling which one attorney called the most important child protective ruling in decades, shows how Maine lacks of service can result in parent losing custody over their children. On July 26, 2019, Maine Department of Health and Human Services removed 2 boys from their parents' care. A few months later, during which time the father died, a court ruled that the mother had failed to parent in consistent and predictable manner and did not have safe or appropriate housing. A judge agreed with DHHS that the mother had failed to consistently meet the child's medical needs according to a later court decision. This story was originally published by the Maine Monitor, a nonprofit civic news organization. To get regular coverage from the Monitor, sign up, blah, blah, blah. Those medical needs were substantiated from the younger of the 2 sons. The boy was born premature with a genetic abnormality, was prone to seizures. He was unable to chew or swallow due to impaired neurological functions and required a feeding tube to eat. Under state and federal law, Maine's Medicaid program, Maine Care, was supposed to pay for a 24/7 private nurse for the child, but DHHS was overseeing both Maine Care and the state child protection service never secured that care. So this should tell you guys that CPS is blocking Maine Care for our kids. They are overseeing everything that goes on throughout each state. So if your kids are getting any kind of medical help through the state, they're blocking it. Once they take them out of our custody where we're getting Maine Care for them, they cease that connection. They're not helping these kids. They're not getting these kids the medical attention they need, the eye vision that they need. I know in my case, the state has medical neglect on their hands for my daughter, my oldest daughter. They have not allowed her to see any kind of medical doctor. They have blocked her from having her vision checked, and she's got a lazy eye. She's supposed to have glasses. They have not given her her glasses, which we dropped off in their office. Um, and they have not provided a dentist for her. And she's only had 2 counseling sessions for the whole time that they've had her. This is medical neglect, people. And we should not be standing for this. And these people should be under scrutiny and should be being watched by this government that we so-called put in place. Well, these people that we put in place aren't doing their jobs. They're failing to do their jobs. They're not looking into this. They're not doing nothing. And this is going on throughout Maine. I don't know if it's going on in other states, but they are removing kids because they are shutting the parents off from getting the services they need. And that is not okay. That should not be happening. We pay for these services, whether it's taxes, or we're working, we're paying for the services that we're supposed to be getting. And in mine and my wife's case, they have ceased reunification on both of us, which means when they cease reunification, we don't answer to CPS anymore, which means we do everything on our own, but we've been doing that the whole time. Counseling, we set up on our own. A drug test and alcohol assessment, we did on our own. Parenting classes, we did on our own without the department. We've done all of this on our own. And these people are claiming that Title 4E is paying for it. No, Title 4E did not pay for my medical. Title 4E did not pay for my counseling. Title 4E did not pay for my drug and alcohol assessment. Title 4E did not pay for my parenting classes. My Maine Care covered every single one of them. So this is fraud. And I'm going to point this out to you guys. When you're doing everything on your own and they're still trying to claim that it's under Title 4E and they're getting funding, you need to find out if they really are taking that funding. If they're taking that funding, that's a big no-no. That is fraud upon the court, fraud upon the state, and they can be charged for it. Once they enter your home by coercion, their immunity ceased to exist. So once they cross that threshold of your doorway and they coerce their way into your home, their immunity is shit. It goes away. Bye-bye. No more immunity. These caseworkers have no immunity once they cross into your home. And we, the people, we need to start fighting this. You guys, we have stressed so much on this show between me, Darren, Tiffany, Danielle, Herbert, Carrie, and everyone else that's involved in the show. We have stressed to you so many times that you guys need to start looking into your case laws. You guys need to start looking into your constitutional rights. You guys need to start writing your own motions. If you have to go pro se, okay, go pro se. But you can also take the attorney they appoint you and put him second chair, which means he will only answer questions when you cannot. So if you were to say, okay, Your Honor, well, I can't answer on this question, but my attorney can, then you bring your attorney up and you can have him answer the question. Or he can make the relevant fight for that. But, you guys need to think smarter when it comes to CPS because they're getting more and more into corruption. Matter of fact, I found this other thing that says right here, despite major concerns about child welfare, legislators could adjourn without concrete action. Several bills that sought to boost our restructure of embedded child of Office of Child Family Services remains in limbo. And this was published in May 2024. And it says Governor Janet Mills said that at the outset of year that if a legislative to recruit case aid for the Office of Child and Family Services ends up on her desk, she would sign it. But Mills hasn't had the chance to make good on her promise because that bill is stuck in limbo, waiting to be funded. This is true for nearly all of the bills this session, seeking to improve Maine's failing child welfare system. Let me tell you something about our governor. There's only one thing she cares about, and that's her own pocket. That is funding her pocket. This lady has not done nothing for this state. She even tried to change our state flag against the people's concerns, but it was strucken out. She's trying to change everything. She's asking for all this funding, but where is this funding going? It's not going into our roads. It's not going into our economy. It's not going into anything in Maine. So where's this funding going? I bet it's going in CPS's pocket. How much you want to make a bet? Seeing how every year they have more and more funding, and it's not from Title 4E because, as you guys all know, in Maine they got rid of Title 4E. It is now state funded, which is fraud as well. You can Google your own states, but Title 4E is no longer since Chevron. Chevron overturned that. They could no longer dictate their policies and procedures. It was now invested into the states. And they're still getting away with fraud. They're still getting away with stealing kids. Matter of fact, I was just listening to a couple other podcasts today where they talked about Maine has been snatching kids left and right, people, left and right. And these courts are flooded with TPRs. They're pushing the TPR these families before Trump gets into office. You know why? Because the more they can TPR families, the more kids they can snatch. And we need to put a stop to this. I will no longer let that allow that shit to happen. I am standing up and I am putting my attorney and my wife's attorney on notice. Listen, this is what's going on. This is what you're not doing. Do your job. Or I'll find a new attorney. It's that simple. If these attorneys cannot do their job, you fire their ass and you find an attorney that will. Until you find that right attorney, you're not going to get nowhere because half these attorneys are just as crooked as the rest of them. And, I can't speak about my criminal case because they silenced me on that, but that's even crooked. There's a lot of corruption in this criminal case as well. Um, I have found so much that is going on in the criminal case that is corruption, and it blatantly is there. And these people silencing me on my criminal case and telling me I can't speak about my case and I can't name names is bull. That goes against my constitutional rights. And this will not stand. And I hope Tuesday when I go to court that this DA is whacked. Who knows? That maybe the judge will finally see what's really going on and say, okay, case dismissed. But there is so much going on. You guys don't even realize it. Maine is one of the most crookedest states. We rated a big fat F on corruption. It's really bad here. You don't want to come to Maine. You don't want to be in Maine. Let me tell you, the corruption runs deep from CPS to the judges, to the guardian ad litems, to the ADAs, to the DAs, um, to the state cops and local cops. It runs deep here in Maine. Matter of fact, one of the cops in Thomaston, Maine, was convicted of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old. Guess where he is now? Back active duty. They let him be back on duty. You don't know how irate I was to see that. And then they sit there and say, "Oh, well, you're guilty." But you'll let a cop and a fire chief of a town back on active duty. Yet you're sitting there calling me a monster. I think these people need to be smacked in their fucking heads. Excuse my French. Yeah, South Carolina too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I could show you. I posted it on my wall. I even showed it to a couple other people. It's sickening to know that they allowed this guy back on the force after he pleaded guilty to this charge. But he's back on active duty? Excuse me? If that's not corruption, I don't fucking know what is. A lot of people think that, I'm talking bullshit. No, it's on the main news channels. I'm finding stuff on the news channels. And I repost it. I put it right on my wall. I'm not afraid. What are they gonna do? Come arrest me? You know how many times they've arrested me already? 3. Look where I am. They arrest you for speaking out on their corruption. They do not like it. They don't like being pointed out and that they are corrupt. But I tell you what, I've written to Donald Trump's office now 4 times. 4. One of these times it's gonna actually get through, and they're gonna see what's going on in Maine, And when they see that the emails that I've been sending can prove the corruption going on in this state, there's going to be a major overhaul. And I guarantee you, this piece of shit governor that we have in office won't be governor for long, because there's a lot of people posting under some of these posts that say, get Mills out of office. She does not deserve to be in office. Our governor is the most lousiest governor I've ever seen. She doesn't care about the Mainers. She doesn't care about the people in this state. She cares more about herself and keeping her brother out of jail. I've been listening to these cops all the time. Like, I have a scanner. I'm listening to them every single day. And the stuff that I hear, wow. Like, couple officers were just right in Wyndham, and even in Harrison, shot a man because he had a gun. But they shot him. He didn't shoot at the cops, but they shot him. Since when are our police, able to just open fire on a human being? I mean, look at for my instance. I am gonna say something, because you know what? I don't care. I was brutally assaulted by Wyndham Police Department at my work, brutally, and threatened to be tased. I was unarmed. I was at work. But these people get away with this kind of behavior. This should not be going on. This should not be happening. I see Darren's with us a little bit. The governor in Iowa is the same way. Yeah. And it's ridiculous, Debbie. It really is. Like, I'm seeing this like nationwide. Um, and I don't know what to say to half of this. CPS is getting away with just snatching kids. Police are being able to do as they want, when they want, how they want, with no regards to the law. They're not defending we the people. Even state cops are very corrupt up here. They have secrets within the state trooper barracks up here. And I've been throwing it out on Facebook. I'm not afraid. I'm not. Why should I sit back and let these people get away with what they're doing? And my counselor has told me numerous times, Ben, maybe you should be an attorney. I was like, no, I don't want to be an attorney. I will never work for the bar. They're just as corrupt. I don't want to be a part of that. These people do not do their jobs. They do not help defend this country. All they're in it for is this. It's all about this. I know they're not supposed to cricket, but they do. And they get away with so much. They get away with stopping you for a traffic violation. Um, Half the roads in the United States aren't even worthy of travel with cars. Yet we have to register our cars. We have to pay taxes. Where's our taxes going? Because it sure as hell ain't in our roads. It sure as hell ain't back into our state. It sure as hell ain't with our bridges, obviously. I mean, look at North Carolina and what they're going through. They're building bridges upon sand instead of rocks and God knows what else. They're making these people out in North Carolina suffer and lose their kids because they do not want to help. There's something wrong with this picture. These families have gone through a horrific thing out there. They have lost their homes. They've lost their loved ones. I've been seeing posts where they still haven't found some bodies, and cadaver dogs are still searching. Wow. Like, I know it was really bad there, but you would think that they would have a lot of people out there helping. Obviously, the Amish are out there trying to help, and they're getting backlash for it. They're getting backlash for building big sheds for these families that have lost their homes, and they're paying the ultimate consequence because the government wants to move in, take over these properties for the lithium that's in the ground. Yet these people have no safe water because it's contaminated, highly contaminated. It's killing them, and the government don't give two shits. Yeah, most of the country's roads are sand, and they wash out. It's beyond me, guys. Like, it really is. Hey, Carrie, how are you doing tonight? Um, it blows my mind to know what is going on around the world. Um, and I like Miss Clearwater said, she thinks that Durham was silenced. That's why he hasn't been on the show. I seen that she posted that last night, and that kind of makes me wonder because we haven't seen him in quite some time. So I'm really starting to wonder if Durham was silenced. They do a lot of that in the UK. They silence you, they shut you up, they make it so you cannot do anything. The same with us. They do the same shit here. They try to pull that shit. They try to silence your tongue. They try to silence your voice. They don't have that right. It is in our Constitution. Freedom of speech, freedom of press. That is our constitutional right. We have a right to report these people. We have a right to talk out about the corruption going on. We have a right to defend our nation. Yet they're trying to silence us. They're trying to make it so we do not speak out against them. And then you got these corrupt cops that are doing investigations without court orders or without a warrant, and they're getting away with it. I don't understand this country. How do they get away with doing all this? How do they get away with saying, "Oh, well, you went over a speed limit by 5 miles an hour"? What the shit? I've heard that on the thing, on the radio. Someone was over by 5 miles an hour and they pulled them over. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm pretty sure that in law, you're allowed that 5 miles over. But it's all about their statutes and codes. But let me read something that I found about statutes and codes, because I feel that you guys should understand a little bit about statute and code. So I'm gonna pull this up. Let me go here. Go here. Oh, wrong one. Here. Okay. Scroll down a little bit. All right. I'm getting to it. Hold on. Bear with me. Right here. I found this doing a search, and this is out of an actual book. Statutes are not law. To be convicted under a statute, you must give your consent. A statute is not law. Fernie versus First Net Bank of Shearsport, 197 LA 1067.3 SO.2D 244 248. A code is not law. It's right here. A statute and code is not law. It's something they made up to make money off of we the people. They developed statutes and codes. That way we would go under them. I also found this thing that I want to read to you guys. And this proves Darren correct. And this proves Tiffany correct. And it kind of puts Herbert in a hole. Okay. So, Herbert, if you're watching this tonight, I'm going to read this to you so you understand what we are actually been telling you, but you don't listen. CPS workers being driven by financial incentives rather than child's best interests. CPS workers being aggressive in their pursuit of justice and telling lies to protect children. CPS workers not having enough information to proceed with full investigations. Right there, Herbert. CPS workers being driven by financial incentives. Proof. Right there. Boom. That says it in itself. They do get incentives, Herbert. I hate to tell you, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but these people are getting incentives. And me and Darren, Carrie, everyone else has been trying to drive that in your head for you to understand. They are incentivized. By taking our children, they do get money when they have them adopted out. They get large bonuses. Large. And I'm not talking like just a measly $500. They get quite a lump sum. So, Herbert, if you're watching, understand, please, we've been trying to tell you this whole entire time, and you've argued with us. You need to wake up, dude. I know you were a law enforcement, you're retired now, but you obviously don't really know what's going on in this system. You don't. You've been retired, I don't know how many years. You don't know. Until you realize what is actually going on, you're not going to know. Exactly, Cricket. They sure do. They are very much so incentivized. And a lot of people don't even realize that. When they adopt your kid, they're getting one hell of a check, man. They're getting kickback on their kickbacks. And that's ridiculous. It really is. Um here's one of my friends right now. She said, "Dude, I have evidence. It's the biker gang. It, you know, up here it's bad." Yeah, yeah. She's talking to me right now. They hacked her phone. They're watching her. I'm sure they're watching me and Darren as well. You know, because of we do this show. We're on that target list now. You know, and I don't know about Darren, but you know what? I'm a whistleblower for CPS and corruption completely. I don't care. What are they gonna do? Kill me? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, people. They've done put me in jail. They've done arrested me. They done done beat me up. They done had me in cuffs to the point where my hands were turning purple and they didn't give a shit. When is enough and enough for us as parents, us as the people of the United States to say it's time that we go after these freaking people. It's time we shed light on what is really going on in our country. Yeah, you guys hear that? These are someone's bail conditions. They're broadcasting it over the radio. And they don't think none of us listen to this. You know how many people in Maine are actually listening to a scanner right now? Lots. So, I, I can't stress to you guys enough what is actually going on. Um, you all have seen, you all know. I mean, poor Chris over there and Debbie, they're dealing with a lot in their case. I wish they would listen to me, Carrie, and Darren and do what we exactly tell them. No, we're not going to do your paperwork for you. That is up to you. I have filed all my motions and everything I do on my own. I've had help with case laws and what I needed from everyone, I've taken the case laws and used it in my own way. But I've written my own motions. I've written my own affidavits. You can't rely on people to do your job. You need to do your job for you. It is up to you as a parent to be doing your own motions. It is not up to these people on this show who are doing advocate work to help you understand your rights to write your papers. I'm sorry. That's not in our job description. We are not on here to help you fight your issues in court. We are on here to educate you only. You guys need to start working on your own motions. You really do. I'm telling you out of the goodness of my heart, some of us are willing to help you, okay? But when you don't listen to us and you don't do what we tell you you should be doing and should be following up on that, that's not up to us. It doesn't fall back on us. Like I said, we are here for educational purposes only. We are teaching you what we've gone through, what we know. It is up to you guys to use that. It is not up to us to use it for you. I don't mind helping when I can or helping track down case law for you or helping you get case law or helping you understand your constitutional rights. But that is up to you to be working on and taking in the knowledge we are giving you. You're going to do that. I hope so, Debbie, because me, Carrie, Darren, we have all stressed this to you. And it's time that you put what we're giving you for knowledge and use that knowledge. Write your own motion, include your case law. Make sure that your stuff is presented the way a motion should be. If you need like a blank layout or something, I'm sure we don't have a problem doing that. And I know Carrie is really good at motions. Elbow cough. Yep, yep. Carrie, you are good at doing motions. I've seen quite a few motions that you've tried to help me with. You got the layout down. Can I send you a template? Yeah, yeah. I can go back and edit my stuff and make it into a template for you. That's not a problem, Cricket. And Darren's got major templates as well. So doesn't Carrie. So all three of us can help you with templates. But you guys need to write your motions. We cannot do that all that for you. Between me, Darren, and Carrie, we got our own stuff going on that we're dealing with. Me, I have two cases. I have the CPS case and I have my criminal case. So I'm filing motions left and right in both cases and trying to get my stuff to a federal court as well and a civil court because I'm going to go after them twice. I'm going after them civilly and I'm going to go after them federally. I hope that's Darren. Maybe Darren might come out and join us too. seeing how he sees there. He's watching to see how I do the show. um, but you know, your dad used to do scanners years ago. Yeah, I mean, a lot of us do. A lot of us have scanners. A lot of us are listening to things that are going on. Some of us are listening to see if they're going to show up at our house because you never know. um, Hold on, I'm replying to a message. I wish I could get my homegirl Crystal on the show. I've been trying and trying and trying to get her to come on. Um, she has so much. She has found out so many things about CPS up here that it's unreal. She, like Darren, got a hold of her Katahdin report, and in this Katahdin report, it had so much information, so much corruption. She's been doing stuff all over the place in Maine, looking up, attorneys, looking up the guardian ad litems, looking up the judges, looking up the foster parents and getting information on them. And wow, the stuff that she has uncovered and shared is mind blowing. She has written to the news channels and they have ignored everything she has said because that's what they do. They do not want to hear what is going on. They're not willing to post your story. I've commented on the new one with Maine being audited. They just got audited for CPS, and the audit didn't come back good at all. But these caseworkers and their supposed director says that they're working to make things better. It's a full of shit. They're so full of shit. It's unbelievable how much full of shit their person is saying. They never a what report? Well, you can do all kinds of searches. You can get background information on your caseworkers. You can get background information on your guardian ad litems, on your judges. All you got to do is input their information. Some of it's paid for. Like you can pay for a search of their background and get their information. It's public knowledge. You can request that. Usually, sometimes it's like $1.99 to $5. Just like you can request every single one of your reports in the CPS case. You have a right to your reports. You have a right to see your reports. You have a right to this AI system that they're using called Katahdin here in Maine that is failing the CPS system because they're using this system for what it was not dedicated to. It was supposed to be the initial phone call in, but they're using it to compile every single part of your case and red flag you to the point where you will not get your kids back. And that's what this AI system does. It red flags you completely. They also have an in-house program that tells all their caseworkers what kind of neglect you had on your kids. And you can pay for it to get the report, but I ain't funding their bullshit. It's like $5.99 to get your full report, and it tells you descriptive of what's on your report and what these people are claiming against you. They even go as far as in their own office, if you're allocated for sexual offenses, it marks you in their system as a sex offender. And that is bullshit and fraud. That is saying to these people, you are guilty of this when you're not even charged with it. That's wrong. And I hope these caseworkers are listening. I hope this DA is listening because you know what? I got a lot to say about you, Mr. DA, and Mrs. ADA, and CPS. I got a lot of shit to say about all of you. And when my story actually is broken and I'm able to speak, the truth is coming out about every single one of you involved in this case. And I'm going to make sure that you fry in a jail cell. That is my word. And these cops that have been involved, I'm going to make sure they lose their badges and they don't get a pension. I want them to sit their asses in a jail cell where they belong. Jarvis? Yeah. Yep. So their AI is a different one than up here. Maine's is Katahdin, where yours is Jarvis. See, there is an AI for every state, and that's what they're using. Herbert's there, but I haven't heard him talk yet. Evening, Herbert. Nope, can't hear you, Herbert.
Wait. Okay, can you
There
hear
you
me
go.
now? Okay,
Yep, we can.
good. I sent you a video. Did you see it?
What'd you said that? Oh, earlier. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I thought it might be something you like to play.
Yeah, there's no way for me to get it on the show because
Oh, okay.
when you send it to me on my phone, I'm not using my phone as you've seen. My phone's right here.
Yeah.
I'm on my wife's tablet. So when I do the
Oh,
show, I have no way to get it into the show and share the screen from there.
so on her tablet, it goes to her email.
Yeah, it would go to her email. It would go to her email in the tablet.
Okay, so when I send it to you on the phone as a text, can in the future, can you just transfer the text to her email?
Well, what I would do is have to send it to her. I would have to send it to her Facebook because her Facebook is on the tablet, so it
Oh,
automatically
okay.
pops up.
Oh, good. Then do that
I
because it
will
was
start doing
really,
that because I
yeah.
think that's how Darren has two different computers, so he's able to share the screen.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, do that because I searched for some stuff on there and I found a really good video that I thought you would like to play, but I understand you
Which
won't be able to.
which is funny because Carrie said I should be using my laptop when I do my show because then
Yes,
I can open up a tab and share stuff with you guys.
yes,
I'm gonna be trying to look into doing that, and I gotta weed out some crap on my laptop because it's running slower than death.
yeah. Well,
Um,
Carrie's correct what she's saying.
and you know, I just I cannot. I don't know if you heard what I said about incentives. I read something about incentives.
Yes,
They are incentivized. They are.
yes, yes. Yeah,
There's no way around that. So that lady that you had on the show is a liar.
yes,
They are incentivized.
right. Remember that lady's a total stranger to me. I don't know
And
that lady.
she played you like a fool, Herbert.
Um, I wouldn't say she played me, because it took some taking to convince her to come on. She didn't just say, "Oh yeah, I want to go on the show. Yeah, I'm really excited about going on the show." No, she wasn't like that. I had to let her know you could use a facetious name. You don't have to show your face. We just want some answers from somebody that works for CPS. That's all we want. That's how I got her on. That's how I
Hey,
got her on.
Darren.
Because when I spoke to other people that are associated with CPS, they were like totally no. They don't have nothing to do with no shows, no YouTubes, no podcasts, nothing.
We got
And
Darren
she,
in a different place tonight.
hi Darren, how are you?
Mm. Gonna
Can
be
you
held
hear
up
He's
here
us?
in
for
the
a little while.
hospital. Oh, man. Are you
Yep.
okay, dude?
Where's he at?
Yeah,
The
I'll be out.
hospital.
Oh.
But I made sure to bring my
Yeah.
fancy smancy machines. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. We hear you loud and clear.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So I made sure that Mary and my daughter brought my computer tonight so I could come into the show. So I'll be here for a few days. So.
Oh man.
Are they taking good care
Yep,
of you there?
live from Windless Douglas Hospital.
Okay.
What's going on? Are you okay or?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not out of the woods yet, but I'm sure I will be.
Oh, that's good.
You know, sometimes when you should go to the doctors before, you wait a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost that. It was almost that point.
Oh, that's not
a little
good.
too late. No.
Yeah.
So I'll be here for a few days at least. They don't tell me how long I'll be here, but a few days anyway, at least.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm sure they'll take good care of you.
CPS still needs to be fought against, regardless.
That's right.
Yeah. And Vinny's doing a great job holding the
I'm gonna
ship
pause
on
up
its
for a minute,
course.
guys. They gotta come and put the IV in me. I'll be right back.
All right.
Get my nourishment here.
Yeah. Yep. I hope he gets better. I really do, Darren. I hope you get better and you come back to us full strength. I'll be praying for you tonight, buddy. No one can take down the Punisher. Yeah, nope. That's been a proven fact, Carrie. And the same with me. Like I was sick for a while. I'm just finally starting to get over my cold. I had a migraine last night towards the end of the show. As this has been ongoing with me, and I really need to look into it and find out why I'm all of a sudden getting these chronic migraines. Because I drink water, I eat, I take care of myself, and it stems from like my neck up, and it just goes right across the top of my head into my eyes, and my eyes start getting dry, and my vision gets blurry, and yeah, I had to crash last night. It was really bad. And I need to have this looked into. I'm gonna actually Monday, I'm gonna give a call to my doctor and give him a heads up on what's going on. That way, maybe he can look into it too, because these migraines are getting intense more and more as they go on.
You don't know why, Vinny?
I don't. I really don't.
Would you like me to give you a hint?
Stress.
Exactly. That's it.
Yep.
That's it in a nutshell. Guess what? I give you your children back, and I give you $1 million. You won't have no symptoms of that ever again.
But if I had $1 million, I wouldn't be in this state, because
No,
this is the
no.
this is the most.
Let's just talk about your medical situation. $1 million and your kids back. You wouldn't ever know. You don't even know what stress is.
I tell you, I never had so much stress in my entire life until last year when this all took place. Not
That's
once.
right. There you
Like
go.
I was a free spirit. I was always out in the garden. I was always outside. I was always coming and going and doing my thing and taking care of my kids. And outside playing with my daughter. I mean, she always wanted to go ATV, and she was always outside with me. Oh,
Yes.
speaking of the devil, give me a second, guys. The wife is calling.
And
Hello,
Cricket, I
Missy.
just want to say that you are correct. Concurring with me on that, because stress can do so much to your body that it's just within. It's being internalized and stuff of anger and stuff that's bothering you, and it can have so many different effects on your body that you're wondering what's wrong, and you start taking medication for the stress, and it's affecting other parts of your body. Now you're really getting sick. And why? Because of the medication. So your doctor gives you medication for this, medication for that. The medications contraindicate each other, and now you're getting sick based on the medication. And it all started with stress. Stress will do that to the body. Stress can make you oversleep, undersleep. It can make you overeat, undereat. Stress can do all of that to you. So until you can get down to dealing with the stress, it'll affect all parts of your body.
Yep, it does. It really it messes with your entire body. It does. And it's not only does stress do that to you, depression can put you in a state where you don't want to socialize with anybody.
No.
And you keep to yourself. I know for a while there, I wasn't talking to anyone. I wasn't socializing because I was badly depressed. Um,
Yes.
I've had a small nervous breakdown, and my counselor has been monitoring me very close because I'm at risk of a severe nervous breakdown. And this is all due to CPS because they cause trauma within me,
Yes.
just like emotion. I can honestly tell you guys, I have no emotions. My emotions buried so deep inside me that I cannot show the emotion of crying. It just doesn't happen. I cannot cry.
No. It starts with
And
stress and then it leads on to other avenues of conditions like depression and everything else. And,
yeah,
being
yeah,
introverted.
I didn't have anxiety until this case started. I was never diagnosed with anxiety, and now I have anxiety due to CPS.
Hmm.
So you all need to think about this. These are things that are caused by CPS: depression,
Right.
anxiety, um, emotional distress. This
Right.
all comes from CPS taking your children.
Right. But Debbie, I want to address Debbie saying about a medication that they gave her daughter that helped her out. Was your daughter dealing with CPS, or was your daughter just dealing with other? I don't know how old your daughter was, but maybe she's not dealing with the same kind of stress that Vinny's talking about. So the medication probably helped your daughter a lot. But when
But
you're
you need to. She also needs to understand that a lot of these medications are altering people's bodies.
yes, it
Like
is.
like the shot for the coronavirus. Um, that has altered a lot of people and killed people.
Uh huh.
And these other things that they were putting these kids on to make them change genders is basically like taking guys' manhood away from them because it makes it so they can't even it doesn't get hard anymore.
Right.
And they've been pounding all this stuff in our heads for years. Years. Television, radios, ads, anything that they can get us to watch, they're using that to manipulate us.
Sure.
Manipulation of the mind is what they call it.
Sure.
The stress, the depression, mental emotions. That's right. Yep. Yep. It is. It is exactly right, Cricket. That's what they do to us. They cause the stress. They cause the depression. They cause mental emotions. It's a whole scale of different things. They've even caused people to even kill themselves.
Yeah. It affects your mood. It
Yep.
affects you as a person, and you'll do things that you never would have done in the past.
And that's what they want. They want to push these parents to a breaking point where they do something stupid because then they'll never get their kids back. That's why you guys got to push through the depression, the anxiety. Don't use these drugs that they're giving you. You got to find other things within the scope of our natural habitat. There are things naturally out there that will help with headaches. There are things naturally out there that will help with depression and anxiety. You have to find them. They grow natural. We have actual natural things that grow within the US and other countries that help us. They just don't want you to know because they want you to pay for their drugs. That's how the
I don't
pharmaceutical people make their money.
I don't think anything could really help us if we're under the stress of outside sources like CPS. I don't think anything can help you with that. Because remember, it's always in your brain what's going on. It's always in your brain trying to get your children back. So there's no
Yep.
medication that can help you feel, oh my God, I feel like going on a roller coaster today, even though my child's not with me. No, you're still going to have it in your brain.
You carry it with you, and it stays with
Yes.
you for a long
And
time.
as long as it stays with, now here's different. Your kids are back and you're having stress. Yes, you could probably get some
All right,
medication to
Cricket.
help you with that because your kids are back with you.
Enjoy your call with your kids, Cricket. I hope you and Jesse get to have a little bit of time with them here soon, and that you guys get them home soon. That was awesome to hear that you guys are going to probably have them home, and I hope you do stay on that path and get the hell out of where you are. Because yeah, you definitely need to find a different place where you guys ain't dealing with the emotional and stressful abuse of CPS. Um, and you know, yeah, Debbie, exactly. I have never gotten the coronavirus shot whatsoever because I've seen what it does to people. My sisters, some of my sisters have never gotten the shot, and we barely get sick. The ones that have got it have noticed significant different things going on, like more bleeding when they have their periods, or they don't get their periods. There's stuff in these shots you don't even know that's in this shot. But they deem this shot safe for us? No, it's not safe. It really isn't. It's harming your body. Don't get the shot. I urge you guys, do not. But we are about at that time. I said I was going to go an hour. I started at 7:30 tonight, as promised. It is 8:30 now, or a little bit after. Um, we're over by 3 minutes, so I want to get last words out and be able to have everyone participate in last words tonight. And I'm going to read off everyone's last words before we end. So, people in the comments, if you got last words for the show tonight, please comment your last words. And then once I get your guys' done, I will go to me, Herbert, and then I will go to myself, and we'll end the show tonight. And that's how we're going to do it tonight. So if you guys all got last words, please put them over in the comments so we can read them off. Moment for Darren too. Yes. Yes, a moment for Darren. So why don't we do that first? We will, that way you guys can get your last words in. We will do a moment of silence and pray for Darren's health to return and to have him back in full strength. Darren, we send our love, brother. I hope you are able to get better and come back to us full strength. We all love you. We love having you be a part of our lives. You definitely make a difference. You definitely help us. Know that we all have you in our thoughts and prayers. Um, Carrie says she's sending you good vibes. Chris's last words tonight is keep fighting for your kids. Carrie's last words. My last words, never give in, never sign anything, stand your ground, get the knowledge, never be ashamed to ask for help, We got you, but you have to put the work in as well. Those are awesome last words, Carrie. Those are really awesome. Debbie, any last words from you? Because I don't see yours yet. I know Cricket is off to have visits with her kids. While we wait for her to do her last words, Herbert, what are your last words for this evening?
My last words are: be aware of CPS, understand how they function, how they work, and avoid being a target and avoid being in their way. Stay away from CPS under any circumstances, no matter what. Don't even argue with them. You're not going to win. Just stay away from them. Just do everything you can. If you have your kids, if you're not part of the system, avoid being a part of CPS.
That's awesome, Herbert. Great last words there. My last words tonight is this: don't forget, tomorrow night at 7:00 is the Tiff and Punisher show. Make sure you show them both absolute love. You show up to their show, and you support them because they are really trying to help the community. Before I finish my last words, Debbie said, keep fighting and don't let them control you. Absolutely, Debbie. That is key. Do not let CPS run your lives. Do not let them tell you how to take care of your children. That is not their say. And to finish my last words is this: do not let CPS in your home without a warrant or court order in hand. Do not let them coerce you into letting them into your home. You have a right to defend your home. You have a right to protect your home. You have a right on private property not to allow anyone on your property. So keep that in mind, people. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you stay safe without CPS involvement. Until Monday, when I am back on the show, we will see you then. I hope you have a great evening. And Darren's got his last words. Fight like you never fought before. Amen, Darren. Amen. Right on, brother. I hope you feel better. We are CPS Victims Hunting Justice, and we are all out of here.
Take care, Vinny.
You too, Herbert. Have a great night, man.
All right.
Who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stopped the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scrape their knees. Now just imagine how they mightest feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calmed. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look? Abolish CPS.